Hello everybody, S.A.S Studios here, and I wanted to make this video to try and give you guys a kind of explanation and an announcement of all the future things that are happening. And I was actually planning on making this video like a couple weeks back, but annoyingly, as some of you know, a lot of things kind of came up in my life after I released the movie of Fortitude, and that kind of set a lot of things to be set back and kind of set a lot of things off course, which was annoying, but life kind of gets in the way on a lot of things. But I knew I had to make this video to try and answer all the questions you guys have been having. You know, like, when is there going to be more episodes of Fireteam Fortitude coming out? Is this it? Is there going to be another season? And I knew I had to kind of make this video to answer as many of those questions as I could. And so here we are. I'll try and answer as many of those questions as I can for you, but there's still some things I don't know. So, let's stop wasting time and let's get right into it.
So a couple things first for context. With publishing each episode of Fireteam Fortitude, there were some people who had the impression that I was creating these within that said week. This was sadly not the case. Truthfully, Fireteam Fortitude has been a project I've been working on for about 7 years. Yes, I've said it before and I will say it again. 7 years. So, something that inspired me to make this film was actually one of the OG's Halo stop motions. I'm sure you've all seen it. It released like almost 2 decades ago. It was the original Lego custom Halo film, Battle of the Brick. That short film with Legos battling it out inspired, me at 12 years old to say, I could do that. And I think I will. I think I'll make a full-length movie. Straight up, about 12-year-old me started this long journey to where we are now. And I can't tell you how many layers there are to the process of what made this movie possible. I mean, my family could tell you. There were days I woke up early in the morning before school started, trying to get to work on the next scene I needed to film, and I'd come back and even work late at night to try and finish that said scene. The closest I can come to for coming up with an idea to explain it is that each minute in the movie took about 8 hours to film, truthfully. The endless struggles, the constant roadblocks and setbacks, there were so many things that I had to teach myself and learn along the way to make the movie that I didn't understand beforehand or even know of. But I wasn't alone in that. There were friends, family members, and mentors that taught me so much, that helped me with everything that they could for me to make this possible. If just one of those people didn't help me, none of this would be possible. I mean, and I'll say it. I feel like with the amount of effort and blood, sweat, and tears, I feel like, it's almost like a part of my soul has been put into the film. But I also feel like there's a piece of everyone who worked on it in there. I mean, the voice actors and actresses, the editors, even the people who, would talk to me and tell me about stories and tell me about buddies of theirs from their past that would inspire me to write and create the characters in my movie and make them be the way that they are. I feel like everyone's contribution that they gave I feel like they kind of gave this movie a soul, and I'm glad for that. So I wish to give my thanks to them all, to my friends, to my families watching and hearing me say this. But I also wanted to say thank you to you. Yes, you. The people who enjoyed listening to me tell this story of mine, and to the people who have enjoyed it so much that they've felt compelled to comment and say how fantastic it was, how awesome it was to see that, and how great it was compared to, other things that they've watched. And, I mean, I had rough days trying to make this possible. And, all of my friends were still inspiring me to keep going, but also you guys who would watch my stuff and talk about how great it was to you and how much you enjoyed it. Like, you guys were some of the people who kept me going and continuing the project. So thank you for that, truly, from the bottom of my heart. Now, you may know the story of Fireteam Fortitude, but you will sadly never know the story of how it came to be. The friendships that were made and lost, the jokes we all made and the sorrows we all cried about, the memories we all share, the debates I've had with both myself and the people who played the characters you all love. I mean, I remember the amount of times that I would talk to one of them about the character and how they would try and interpret what that meant and interpret how the character would be. And even for me, it's hard to tell where the line is drawn for what parts were the written, scripted character on the screen, and which part is the person who's giving the voice acting on the microphone. I can't tell you everything, but what I can tell you is how I did it, so look forward to that. A Fireteam Fortitude tips and tricks video done by the director himself. I'll go into how I made the shots possible, what I learned along the way, why I did the certain liberties that I did in my movie, and what I can recommend for you when you want to make your own. Because that's what I want. I want, you, the next person who feels inspired to go out there and write your own story to film or do.
You could be next.
It could be of your own story, of your own ragtag team of people thrown together for some crazy adventure, just like how I was whenever I watched my first stop motion years ago. So that should be coming soon. As well as another thing, I plan to film a bloopers cut with all the mistakes and mess-ups that the voice actors made. Well, most of them. Probably not all of them. That'd probably be best. And they're pretty funny, just listening back to them and being in the moments to hear them say it. And I feel greedy withholding all those hilarious moments to myself. So expect that also. As for the question of when is the next season coming out, I truly don't know. And I know that's not what you guys wanted to hear, but there are good reasons to why. One, I actually plan for more to come out. I wrote a second and even a third movie, but regretfully, I lost the documentation with all those ideas for a sequel and a trilogy that I spent years writing while I was making the first movie, and I was very much upset when I did lose that. Two, this movie was actually supposed to come out like 3 years ago, so we were very behind schedule when we started sending out the episodes when we did. Three, I don't exactly have all the resources I do now. I used to have like the iKit movie software because that's what I used. But once the movie was done, it actually decided to delete itself and say I didn't own it. So I can't even do stop motion right now, even if I wanted to, and I very much want to. Don't get me wrong. And finally, there's kind of been a lot of chaos happening in the last couple of months, not just while I was releasing the episodes, but also before that even. As some of you already know, my family and I lost one of our pets, great pit bull named Halo, of course, obviously. So I've still been kind of handling that, but also, another thing, surprise, in a few weeks, I'm actually going off to college. Yes, fun stuff. Now, I get it. I'm not the first YouTuber to say this, and I'm not the first YouTuber that says, there's gonna be more, and then I disappear. Don't worry. Do not be concerned. This is not the last you have heard of S.A.S. Studios. I still have a lot more stories I want to tell. I still have Halo stories to make, such as the Toymation Flood theme entry I gave. I laughed because there was a guy who sat there when it was going on going, "Man, this is such a great story, but I feel like it's just way too short." And I was laughing because I'm sitting there going, "Well, yeah, no, I mean, it's a 30-minute video I had to compress into 5 minutes, and that's all I could film too." So I was thinking about, revising that project, and it's not going to be like an hour and a half, but it's not just going to be 5 minutes either. So, we'll see where that goes. But I also plan to tell other stories, maybe not just Halo ones either. I do wish to expand my portfolio, so maybe I could tell stories about Minecraft, about Team Fortress 2, the Backrooms, Five Nights at Freddy's, Murder Drones, maybe a couple other things. Maybe a lot more. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. I know I've been building my fan base mostly on Halo, but I'm sure a little bit of diversity in, different genres never hurt anybody. But I also thought about it, where I could also try other forms of media in storytelling, 2D or maybe even 3D animations. Right now, I am currently working on a chapter book, and currently working on like page 107 right now, as well as working on a comic book on the side whenever I got spare time. I know, right? Where does this guy ever think he's got spare time? Well, that's a debate. As some of my veteran viewers also know, that I also do paint and cosplay. So there's a lot of things I could, go back to. There's a lot of things I could, expand to and try and, explore. But don't think of this as the end of my story. This is not that by any means. I'd like to think of it as simply the closing of one chapter and the opening of a new. And I honestly can't wait for you all to see what comes next.
Well, that's all I had left to say. I hope I answered all your questions, or at least most of your questions. I thought I could have answered all the questions you guys had. But yeah, no. I mean, I wanted to make this video to explain what's going on in my life and what you guys should be expecting next, as well as, to say thank you to everyone who made my movie possible. But yeah, I guess this is the part where you guys will have to wait for what comes next on my channel. So, I wish you all the best. Take care. And until then.